Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're digging into Monday Night Raw from June 16th, 2025. We've got the key takeaways from Raw, King, Queen, Goldberg, and Morgan's injury, and we're going to break down what really matters for you.
Exactly. Our goal today, quickly unpack the biggest stuff. Major tournament moves, a really unfortunate injury, and, well, a legendary return that kind of shook things up.
Yeah, it definitely did.
And what's really interesting, I think, is looking at how these moments aren't just separate events. They actually, change the whole game for the next few weeks, maybe even longer.
Okay, let's get right into it then. The King and Queen of the Ring tournaments, they're really heating up as we head towards Night of Champions. Asuka won the women's Fatal 4-Way, took down Stephanie Walker, Ivy Nile, and Raquel Rodriguez.
Quite the lineup.
And on the men's side, Jey Uso got the victory over Rusev, Sheamus, and Bronson Reed. But these weren't just straightforward wins, were they? Seemed like there was more going on.
Oh, absolutely. You're spot on. These wins pushed them way closer to Night of Champions on June 28th, obviously. But the how is key here. Like Rhea Ripley getting involved to help Asuka.
Right, I saw that.
That's not just about one match. It kind of shifts the power balance, maybe subtly boosts the Judgment Day's influence over there in the women's division. Could be setting up something between Asuka and Ripley down the line,
Mm-hmm. Interesting angle. So less about Asuka just winning on her own steam and more about the backstage politics, maybe?
Precisely. And look at Jey Uso. He had LA Knight, Penta, and Sami Zayn backing him up visibly.
Yeah.
That feels like, well, maybe the start of a new group.
Yeah, it kind of did.
It gives him instant backup, some narrative muscle heading into that huge semifinal match against Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
It makes you think, are we seeing a new faction forming right under our noses?
It definitely adds another layer to that Cody match. Okay, so while the tournaments were moving folks forward, we had a really tough moment elsewhere. Liv Morgan's match against Kairi Sane, it had to be stopped.
Yeah, that was rough to see.
A real shoulder dislocation. Sources are saying she might be out, up to 16 weeks? That's a long time. What's the fallout from this?
Well, the immediate question is just, what now?
Oh.
For Liv, it puts her whole planned feud with Nikki Bella in serious doubt. And her spot in the WWE Evolution event in July. That's probably off the table, too.
Yeah.
Her being sidelined creates this big gap in the women's title scene. A top name, suddenly gone, that forces rewrites, opens doors for others maybe, but yeah, the ripple effect from one injury like that can just change everything for a division. It's really unfortunate.
Absolutely. And then talk about a shift in energy. The roof practically blew off the place. Goldberg is back.
Unbelievable, right?
Pyrotechnics, the whole entrance, walks right up to Gunther, the world heavyweight champion, and boom, challenges him for Saturday night's main event next month in Atlanta. This wasn't just a pop-in visit. This felt huge.
Oh, it's massive.
Yeah.
If you connect the dots, Goldberg returning and immediately targeting Gunther, that cranks the hype for the July 12th Saturday night's main event way, way up. And he even dropped new merch, that Rat Fink style stuff, called Goldberg's Last Ride. That title alone, it suggests this isn't just a return. Maybe it's the final run.
Wow, Last Ride.
So the question for you listening is this really it for Goldberg? And how does Gunther, this dominant champ, react to a legend potentially looking for one last title grab on his way out? It just elevates that whole July show.
Definitely something to watch. Okay, besides those big headline moments, there were a couple of other things that felt like they were setting up future conflicts. AJ Styles got a pin on JD McDonough, even with Dominic Mysterio trying to interfere.
Right, keeping that Styles versus Judgment Day feud simmering.
And Bayley cut a really intense promo, didn't she? Aimed right at Becky Lynch, talking about stolen WrestleMania moments.
Yeah, planting seeds there for sure. And don't overlook Sami Zayn having that brief, tense face-off with Karrion Kross. He was short, but felt significant. Well, it clearly signals Kross is lurking, maybe looking to cause chaos around the King of the Ring, especially targeting someone popular like Zayn. Puts Kross in that spoiler role, adds tension to the tournament brackets. It just shows how all these storylines are starting to, weave together little moments, build big things.
So, looking back at this one episode of Raw, it really wasn't just a collection of matches, was it? A tournament contender rises, a star gets injured, a legend returns. How do these pieces fit together to change the whole picture for us, the viewers?
It's like watching the butterfly effect, really.
Yeah.
You see Asuka and Jey win. Okay, that sets up Night of Champions. Liv gets injured. Boom, the women's division has to recalibrate. Goldberg walks out. Suddenly, July's main event is completely different.
Right.
So the big question, I think, for you to chew on is this.
Yeah.
How will these single moments from one night cascade? How might they fundamentally alter careers, championship paths, everything, really, in the long run? Because, as we know, in this world, one ripple can definitely start a wave.